I'm Shadow Witch. Welcome to my circle. And we are doing part 2 of opening a circle, or casting a circle. This is part 2, opening the circle. The circle has been cast. I hope you had a chance to check that out. And if you did, please put a like on there. It helps us with the numbers and gets people to know if you enjoyed it so they can check out this one. This is part 2, which is technically called opening the circle. A lot of people will use the term, well, we cast the circle, now we're going to close it. Nah, it's not like that. Again, I'll use the example that you built the room, you've locked the door with closed, casting the circle. Now we want to open the door so we can leave. We sealed it with the sword or with your athame. Now we're going to open it. So we have to basically go around and reverse it. So this is what we're going to do. You can either take your athame or your sword. I like using both, depending, and I'll explain why. I go around the circle starting in the north, and I absorb the blue energy. Those of you that have your psychic sight well developed may be able to see the blue flames, a very thin thread of blue energy flowing into the end of the sword. Now, I use the sword primarily for outdoor rituals. I do use the athame for the indoor rituals, and there's a reason. I do a lot of indoor rituals, and every time I absorb the circle with the athame inside, it is depositing like a little battery all the energy of the circle. Then later, if I'm making incense or carving candles, I can put a little bit more of that circle's energy into that item by just releasing it and visualizing that blue flame just flowing out of the tip into the item I just made, giving it even more power, one of those witch's tricks. And then after that, I face the north with my trusty little snuffer. And starting again in the north, we bid farewell to the watchtowers. Watchtowers of the north, thank you for attending our sacred rite. Until we meet again, go in peace softly. Then we take a moment to carefully douse our flame and turn to our left, going counterclockwise. Watchtowers of the west, powers of water, we thank you for attending our sacred rite. We do a pentacle in the air out of respect, and then go over and douse that candle. And you want to be very careful. Sometimes the wicks will contain a little bit of little coal, a little flame and ember, so you want to make sure they go out completely. Watchtowers of the south, powers of fire, we thank you for attending our sacred rite. Until we meet again, go in peace softly. Now, the fire usually takes a bit to put out. It doesn't like to go away. Ah, there we go. And then watchtowers of the east, powers of air, we thank you for attending our sacred rite. Until we meet again, go in peace softly. And we will put out our little candle there for the east. We come back to the altar. We put out the mother candle. We put out the crone candle. And in my tradition that I learned 1,000 years ago, I leave the maiden candle burning until after. And sometimes if we're having a little get-together with friends and having a bit of a feast afterwards, we can even bring the maiden candle to the maybe the table where we're going to be eating and have it put out at the end of the night. But I usually, in the school, put it out when we're done for safety's sake at the end of the ritual. Now, after we've done that, we've absorbed and opened, unsealed the circle. We've put out all the watchtowers. We come back to the altar. Lovely lady with your gentle Lord, we thank you for this moment and each other as you depart. Go in peace softly. The circle is open. but unbroken. Around and through us flows its magical powers. We came together in love and friendship, loyalty and trust. Let us part the same way. As we depart into this day, let us take a piece of the circle's power, which will protect us always. Bide the Wiccan law ye must, in perfect love and perfect trust. 8 words the Wiccan read fulfill, and at harm none do what you will. Lest in thy self-defense it be, ever mind the rule of 3. Follow this in mind and heart, and merry ye meet, and merry ye part. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the love of the goddess be forever in your heart. Merry meet, and merry part, and merry meet again. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Blessed be. And that is all it takes to open the circle. Now check our last video with casting the circle and now opening the circle. And if you check it out and take out all my extra explanation, it literally takes, for casting and opening the circle, maybe if you do just a little bit in between, less than 10 minutes. It does not have to take an excessively long time to do this. You can just cast it or have it all set up in a private little area, come in, cast your circle, do a little bit of work, open your circle, and continue on with your day or night. It does not have to be a big, elaborate affair. Really, you can do this very simply, very easily. You just have to put the time and effort into it, and it becomes easier and easier. And there's absolutely nothing, please, that just occurred to me. The fact that I do not use any kind of written material, do not make the mistake of thinking that that's how you must do it. It took me 20 plus years of reading from a book until I opened my own school, and I found myself doing half a dozen rituals a week sometimes before I memorized all of it. I've been doing this well over 40 years. It's perfectly acceptable to be able to read it from a book. Anyone that tells you you must memorize all of this, you must memorize all of it. Some people have a hard time memorizing a lot of stuff, and that's perfectly okay. We write things down for a reason, so we can read them. And somebody that tells you you must memorize this stuff is, well, they're more on their own power trip. This is for you. And if it makes you more in touch with your own spiritual or magical workings to read it and get in touch with the energy, then that's what you should do. And somebody telling you you must or you should or you must have to do this, and I wouldn't spend 2 minutes with a person like that. So that's my husband. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun for me, and we're going to look forward to doing a lot more special circles. Now, if there's any questions, what would you like to see a video on? I'm having a great time. Me and my videographer, Michelle, we're really having a great time doing this. We'd like to put out at least a video a day once we get rolling and we get all the technical, challenges out of the way. Please put some questions down in the comments. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, like, and share, please do so, because that helps me get you the content that you're looking for. And this has been Shadow Witch. Remember, only cool cats and kittens allowed. Thanks for visiting my circle.